hesitate. Into cycling, Melbourne crit scene, welcome to the team. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow, hear the tires scream.
What a race this was. This was the last stage of the Toughen Up Series, and we're out at Gruyere, and man, I think this felt like an A-grade race. It wasn't too far off A-grade pace. In fact, our fastest lap of the race was faster than A-grade's fastest lap, and at one point we actually passed them, which didn't make them very happy, so they quickly went past us again. But pretty much the whole race they were just in sight. So, you know, on a course like this, a 5k course, I almost would have expected they would have lapped us. So not sure what was going on there, A-grade. Yeah, seems like it was a bit of a chilled pace and maybe until the end, not sure. But we had a couple of guys from Brunswick turn up. I think there was a Northern Combine race that may have been cancelled, so AJ had a few teammates come along this week, and they all rode really strong actually. There was a guy that I've known. I'm actually from Brunswick Cycling Club, even though I live out at Warburton now. I'm still a member of Brunswick, and so I'd seen the other guys around. It was Andrew Gannon, which I know quite well. He's Ruby Roseman Gannon's father, and he's always been a strong rider, so I kept my eye on him. I won't give away too much just yet in terms of who won and what happened. I guess we'll just go through and have a look how the whole race panned out. Now, to be honest, this has been quite a there was quite a bit of action, so I wasn't sure what stuff to cut out. You know, normally I just sort of fast forward to, you know, the good bits, but there was quite a bit on this race. There was quite a bit of action. There were a couple of little climbs and also a longer climb that took a little bit over, about a minute and a half or so. And yeah, it was just full gas all the time, up every climb. Yeah, really good race, really fun. Like, you know, at one point I didn't think I'd be able to last the distance just because it was so fast. But I did manage to hang on. My fitness hasn't been as good. Normally by this time of year I sort of take time off the bike, and as I'm editing this video now, I'm already on my third day off the bike, so I'll probably take a good week off and then slowly start doing some base for the next phase. The next race I'll be targeting will be Gravelista, but I will do a few races in between leading up to that. So anyway, let's see what happens further in the race. As you can see just in front of me, that's Lachlan Silby, who won last week's race. Very strong rider, so I knew he was a good wheel to sit behind if I needed a break. Even though at this point in the race I didn't need a break, I was just probably having a bludge. Yeah, so anyway, let's skip ahead a little bit and see where some of the action is. Okay, so we've just turned left onto, it's not quite the beginning of the climb, but it's on the same stretch of road as a little climb. Yeah, I say little, and it is only a small climb. It's like it was taking us just over, but probably about a minute and a half roughly to get up there. But it was it was steep in sections, and just as you thought it was about to be over, it just sort of kicked up that little bit more. So it really hurt towards the end. Yeah, so as you can see, this is our first time up this time, and even though it was really early in the race, my intentions here were just to have a little bit of a crack, see if I could split the field up early, and yeah, I just thought I'm just going to give it a go and see what kind of response I get. So you'll see shortly as we get up, and you'll also see Chris Leckie also decides to have a go as well. And we did briefly talk about this the other week, that we might try and see what happens if we go hard on this climb. So shortly we'll get to that, and you'll see the result. There he goes. There goes Chris. So I'm thinking, all right, let's just see what happens. So I'm sort of slowly moving up. And as you can see here, the Brunswick boys are keen to not let anything get away. So no pulling the wool over their eyes. And I take over and again just try and put some power down and see what happens. That actually did hurt quite a bit because I wasn't fully warmed up. But I thought I'm just going to go with it because I know once you get to the top of this, there's a downhill and there's quite a bit of time to recover. So you can see their percentage just sort of kicked up to 8 or 9%. I think that was pretty much the peak of it. So and here we go. Here we turn left down the finishing straight. Look back. Few guys still on, so looks like everyone was keen to race today. It wasn't going to be a day where we were going to walk away very easily. So Chris sort of tries to keep it going. This stage I'm feeling that little attack, but Chris seems to be still quite keen to try and break things up. I guess after an effort like that, most people are hurting, so even though they might make it over the climb, with the pack, they might get dropped as soon as the pace picks up on the flats. So I think that's what he was trying to do there. We go around that corner, you can just see to the left the field was quite split up. Both have a look back, keep putting the pressure down. And just a little bit further up here, you'll see the start-finish line. Oh, that smoke on the right wasn't great every time we'd come past. Now this guy, I don't know his name, he was actually quite strong. He did manage to get away for a while on his own, and well, sort of on his own. He did sort of bridge onto A grade when they were a little bit up the road, and he looked like he was sitting on them for a little bit. I'm pretty sure the marshals had a go at him though and told him to back off A grade, and I think that's what caused us to, just sort of match A grade's pace, because we knew he was up the road. And we'll go to that. We'll go to that sort of that section in the race soon. But because we knew he was up the road, it kept us going pretty fast. So we sort of had to match, if not better, A grade's pace. All right, I'm gonna skip forward a bit, and we'll pick it up where there's a little bit more action. Right, so we've just picked it up over the top of the second lap, on the top of the climb, on the second lap. And as you can see, as soon as we've come around there, like we were full gas up the climb, and then sort of dies off a little bit here. And then AJ decides to put the pressure on. And as we turn left, in a sec. It just sort of kept going, like it's just crazy. As soon as we turn this corner here, through here, I would have thought, okay, let's just ease off a bit. There was still no breakaway at this point. It was just, and that's the thing, we weren't chasing anything, but we were just going so fast. It was crazy. Lachlan's obviously going for some food there, feeling the effects already of the first lap and a half, or lap and a half. And actually, just in that time that he's reached into his back pocket, there's been a massive gap open up. And I'm thinking, well, who was in that little group? Was there anyone that we should be worried about? And yeah, there could have been. So I wasn't quite sure what to do here. I wasn't sure whether to go around Lachlan and chase these guys down, but I'm thinking, look, he's a pretty strong rider. I'm just going to sit in because I really need to conserve energy. Like I said, not in the best form at the moment, so I need to ride as conservatively as I can. Now, as we've turned around that corner, you can just see there's a couple of riders up ahead. Now, that's A grade. So, second lap here, and we've pretty much caught onto the back of A grade here. So, definitely these first two laps were faster than A grade pace. So, yeah, you can see there we've caught them. And just over this little rise, you know, the pressure's on. And we've got no breakaway ahead of us. It's just crazy. I don't know what people were just trying to rip the field to shreds. I'm not sure what was going on, but definitely, look, like I say, made it a fun race. If you're a sadist and love causing yourself pain and others pain, it was a fun race. So if you can just see there's a guy there in the black on the outside, that's the guy that eventually breaks away and jumps on the back of A grade. Yeah, but like, see, even here, like, not much is going on, but the pace is still hot. And there you go, you can see A grade, they're just there in front of us. So they must have been having a holiday, I think. I'm not sure what was going on there. Here we go. So we're coming up to the back of A grade, and that's Danny Gannon on the front, thinking he's just gone, nah, stuff it, let's go around A grade, and we did. Yeah, there we go. Get a look there from Paul Schooler. He actually ended up winning A grade. He's one of the guys I ride with in Warburton. Very strong rider. And I'm thinking, he's probably thinking, what the F just happened there? What's going on? And I think they were saying, I think someone in A grade mentioned, this must be the breakaway. And I've gone, no, this is actually the pack. So we were just full gas. So there you go. See the guy at the front there? He's trying to get away. And I think he does open up a little gap here, and then A grade in a minute will come flying past. Obviously not happy that we've gone around them. Pretty sure we're not really allowed to do that. But anyway. But you know, what do you do if you've got a fast B grade group and A grade's sort of in a... I mean, I'm not saying that their race was slow. That would have just been a bit of a lull in their race. And just as they had a lull, we had a fast lap. So that's, you know, mainly what would have happened there. So you'll see here, like, yeah, this is again the beginning, sort of the bottom end of that little climb. And in a second, A grade will go flying past. Just letting us know that they are A grade and not us. Yeah, I think after that car went past, I'm pretty sure in a minute now. Yeah, so this guy here in the all black, keep an eye on him, because I'm pretty sure he does go off and get on the back of A grade. I'm sure they're about to pass us any minute now. Here they go. And even though they did pass us, by the time, you know, we got over this climb, we had them in sight again. So It looks like Chris wasn't content with the reduction in pace there, so he's decided to go after A again. Yeah, this is where this little climb hurts, just around here. And yeah, I remember at this time I was feeling it, and I'm just thinking, please just stop. That's enough. I think I yelled out something like, "Oh, can we just ride B race pace now?" Just over the top of that little climb. Yeah, I must say at this point I was pretty tired. It's one of the dropped A grade riders there that we've just gone past. And up here I've just decided to sit on Jules. I know she's a strong rider. Um, but yeah, I had nothing to go around. I felt like I should have gone around. I think she's probably looked around at me then thinking, what are you doing, mate? But I had nothing at this point. I just needed to recover a little bit. And again, the pace is just relentless. It's just not backing off. You'd think after that climb we'd want to have a little bit of a break, but no. And you can see that smoke has sort of come over to our side of the road a bit there. It's not very pleasant, but not much we can do about it. And you can just see again, just up the road is A grade again. They're not far away. They're just in sight. And like they were pretty much just in sight the whole race. I think the last lap was when our group really just sort of backed it right off, and that was the only time they got out of sight. Alright, we might skip ahead a bit more and pick it up again shortly. There's a start finish line. The 3 laps done, I believe. I didn't have my lap counter on the Garmin going during this race, so the laps you see there are not quite right. It only shows 11 laps. I think it started taking the laps from somewhere else, but anyway, it's roughly like 3 laps. Yeah. All right, let's pick it up a bit further into the race. Okay, so we're at about the halfway point of the race, so I thought this might be a good time to just go over some of the stats from the race. So the distance was 63 kilometers and it took us about an hour 52 to complete it, which is an average speed of just under 34 kilometers an hour. As you can see there, training effect had it listed as aerobic capacity. I'd say that's due to my fitness having dropped quite a bit over the last few weeks. Average heart rate was 154, max 187. Under power, we've got 937 watts. That would have been in the sprint. Now, it was a sort of long drawn out sprint, so I wouldn't have hit my full max power there. 227 watts over was average power over 20 minutes. This one here surprised me, 257 watts normalized power for almost 2 hours. So that's sort of getting up there for a B grade race. So that proves that it was quite a fast race. Um, what else have we got there? Yeah, look, that's about it. But yeah, look, that does show that it was actually a pretty fast race, and we weren't just cruising along for the day. Anyway, let's skip forward a little bit more, and we'll get to one of the next little climbs. Actually, no. Before we go there, let's let's just skip ahead just towards the start finish line, just a sec. Okay, so we're just completing the sixth lap here, and as we come up to the finish line, not the actual finish of the race, but the start finish line, this is where a few of the guys tell the marshals that that other rider in the black kit that he's actually gone on and tagged onto the back of A grade, which was a little bit unfair, and you're actually not allowed to do that. So as you'll see as we come up here in a minute now, it was a bit of a sneaky move. I'm not sure how he thought he was going to get away with it. But yeah, look, if you're going to break away, you need to do it on your own steam. Yeah, here we go. There's a guy's telling him, yeah, look out for whatever his number was. I can't remember. Was it 44? I think. Yeah. So if they just let the guys know there that he's on the back. So next lap when he comes through, I'm sure they'll tell him to back off A grade and leave some space between himself and A grade. Yeah, so we'll skip forward ahead shortly and see how things pan out. Okay, so we're about to start our 8th lap. Shortly you'll see us cross the start-finish line again. Now at this point I'm thinking that rider that was on A grade, he would have been told to back off A grade. So he should be somewhere by himself between us and A grade. And I was thinking if myself and maybe a couple of others can get across to him, that might be a good little breakaway that we could create. And as we go around this corner, I can see that I'm not sure whether someone else has had the same idea, but a little bit up the road you can just see him now. That's Andrew Gannon, and as I said, I know he's a fairly strong rider. I've raced with him in the past at the Brunswick Club Championships, so I can see that he's like trying to make a move, possibly trying to get across to that other solo rider. Now, I had been sort of taking a couple of laps, sitting in and just having a little bit of a rest. So I thought this is probably a time to have another go and see if I can do something. So as we get up here, I put in a pretty solid acceleration to catch up to Andrew. And what I was planning to do here is to get around him, get him to sit on my wheel and see if we can catch that rider. Now, one thing I didn't take into account is that normally, you know, when I'm in good form, I would have been able to do this, but at this time of the year, with my form slowly dwindling away, this was not such a good idea. So you can see there my heart rate's shot up, and I'm already thinking, oops, bad idea. I'll look back, see if Andrew's there. He's coming up, and he will join me shortly. Sorry, not sure what happened there with the video. I did try and recover that section during editing, but wasn't able to. So yeah, not quite sure whether that was the camera playing up or whether it was the editing software. Anyway, as you can see there, Andrew's taken his turn. He's just swung off. So we're still sort of trying to make this happen. And way in the distance there, you're not sure whether you can see him, but that other rider is up the road. And again, as I said, I quickly regretted trying to do this, so I started to back off here. You can see my power drop. Andrew's gone around, probably frustrated with me, and pretty much the whole group is back, and I needed to just find a spot to sit in here. I was really hurting at this point. Yeah, bad move. Anyway, you got to try these things. You don't know how you're going to feel until you do it a lot of the times. Like I was actually feeling pretty good on this day, so it's not like I came in here not feeling great or anything. I was just lacking a bit of fitness, so when it came to doing things like that, yeah, I wasn't able to hold those long sustained efforts, which I normally can do when I'm in good shape. So a little bit of a shame, but that's all right. So my plan from here was to hope that this stays together and maybe try and do something in the sprint. Now this sprint didn't favour me like the others. It was pretty much a flat sprint. So I probably need to work on that. I think that's a skill I need to work on, which I haven't for a long time. I think I do need to try and work on getting a good sprint in the flat. I tend to find when I've got the resistance of an uphill, I can put out some pretty good power and you know, execute a pretty strong sprint. But in the flat, I just don't seem to be able to do it quite as well. So anyway, look, let's skip ahead again. I don't want this video to be too long because it sort of puts people off watching it. So we may even move towards the end and see how things pan out at the end. Okay, let's pick it up later on. Okay, so we're just about to cross the start-finish line for the last time on our last lap. At this point, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I was hoping there wasn't going to be a big acceleration over that last climb because I didn't think I'd be able to hang on if that was the case. Yeah, so as you can see, there's not much left of the pack. Pretty much what you see in front of me, except for I think Andrew, who's just behind me, that's what's left of the pack. So definitely a tough race. So I think everyone here now is preparing for this last lap. It's Chris having a bit of a stretch. And not long to go. There's the start-finish line. There's that one lap to go. So happy to see that. Chris was just there adjusting his buckles, ready for the sprint. So we know it's going to be a hotly contested sprint. Now there is actually a rider up the road. That is, let me just quickly look up the name. I know him from Brunswick Cycling Club, and I have seen him do this before. That's Fergus Fitzwater. He broke away a few laps back. Might have been 2 or even 1 lap ago. It wasn't that long ago, and he managed to open up a massive gap. And so he's way up the road. Now, I've seen him do this before at a Brunswick race or a Northern Combine race. I can't remember. And there's just no bringing him back. He's I don't know how he does it. He doesn't even look like he's doing that much. It doesn't even look like he's hurting himself to do it. But yeah, he's managed to get away. So it's we're really just now fighting for from first to fifth. Sorry, from second onwards. So out of this group, we're only going to get second place. Now, I was really hoping, I knew Lachlan was in there, so if this group did go over the top together, my money was on him to win it. I was hoping to get second again, second, which would have actually been third. But at the very least, I would have been happy with fourth, just to get some more points to try and stay in that top 10 to get some money at the end of the series. So this was the last race of the series. So yeah, really hoping that there wasn't going to be an acceleration over that last climb. So there's a couple of guys here that can probably climb better than I can at the moment. And if I lost contact with that group, there was no way I was going to be taking part in the sprint. So yeah, I was really, really hoping to get over that climb with everyone else. So we might just, we'll just pick it up towards that last climb up, and see how things go there. So we're just starting, just turned left onto the beginning of that climb. Now this lap was pretty docile, so this is a lap where A grade really pulled away from us. So they did finish a couple of minutes ahead of us. Yeah, so I was thinking it was pretty easy for this lap, so my thoughts were there were probably a couple of riders in here gearing up for a big acceleration on that climb. That was my fear. Now this guy number 44, we saw that he obviously a fairly strong rider. He managed to get away earlier and catch on to A grade, so I thought he might have a go. Danny's moved up, looks like he might be having a go. So the pace has picked up now as we hit that climb. You can see my power there, sort of was in the low 400s, high 300s, just to stay with the group. Heart rate's creeping up, so I am starting to get pushed here to my limits. Just really hoping I can get over with this group. And as you can see, I am starting to get dropped. Not long to go, just hoping I can make it over. Really struggling here. A few of the guys were also starting to cramp up. I wasn't cramping, but I could start to feel the beginnings of cramps coming on. You can see another acceleration. And I'm just digging deep now, just trying to get on, make sure I don't lose this group as we head over the crest of the climb. Heart rate is sort of, getting up there. Okay, well, so I've made it over the top of that little climb, so now it's really down to the sprint finish. Again, we are sprinting for second place here because Fergus is up the road. Okay, so I knew the riders to watch in this sprint were Chris Leckie here, just on the left, Lachlan just ahead of him. So I knew these guys were the ones to watch in this sprint. So I was going to sit back. I wasn't going to initiate any moves in the sprint. I was going to just try and follow the fastest rider I could. So still a little bit to go now. So shortly we will make a left-hand turn onto that start-finish straight. Here we go. And as you can see, the pace is just sort of settled down. Everyone's just reserving enough energy to put it all out on that sprint. So I've managed to recover a fair bit. Happy with the way I'm feeling. So at this point, I'm just sort of sitting behind Chris, see what he's gonna do. Let's see if someone opens up the sprint early, and yep, there's Danny Gannon goes really early there. So I jump on Lachlan's wheel, so I'm thinking this is the best place to be right now. Behind me is Chris, and he now has a go, and I'm thinking, okay, we gotta go. Still on Lachlan. I'm not quite sure how long there was to the finish, so I wasn't sure what to do, but I thought it must be coming up, so I put in a really hard sprint now. Get past Chris. I still can't see where the finish line is. Lachlan's gone. I'm trying. I've backed off a bit there. Very long sprint. Didn't realise how long. Trying my hardest. And as I sit up for the finish line, thinking I've got third, Chris just comes and piffs me on the line. So good on you, Chris. Thanks, mate. That's all right. That's racing. If I was in his position, I would have done exactly the same thing. So well done, guys. So Fergus took that one out. Second was Lachlan Silby, followed by Chris Leckie, and fourth for myself. So in with the points still, happy with that. I finished 8th overall in the race, and in the series, sorry. So I did manage to get some money, and they were paying down to 10th place. So well done to everyone. Again, thank you for watching. If you have, please like the video, share it with your mates. Please subscribe. Also hit the bell notification icon. That way you'll be notified when I've uploaded a new video. So yeah, looking forward to the next race. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a break, and then start doing my base training for a Gravelista. Then I'm off to Italy for a month, where I'll continue some base training in Sicily. Hopefully I'll be back with some solid base to continue my preparation for Gravelista. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. See you all soon. Bye now.